Hey guys, welcome back to our third episode of Who's That Entrepreneur. Today we have the very handsome Cian Charlton of 35mm Vintage, our very first sponsor to our YouTube channel. Cian's going to talk to us a little bit about 35mm Vintage, a little bit about his own personal investing, and just about his life and what got him to where he is. So before we get into it, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and make sure to check out 35mm Vintage, and we'll link down their website down below. So, Cian, shoot. Mr. Handsome, tell us a bit about yourself. Let's go.
Says himself. Yeah, good to be here, lads. Thanks for having me on.
Great, we're a long time waiting for this.
I know, a very long time. 6 months now at least.
Yeah, easily. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Easily.
Go on, talk to us. So, Cian, who are you? What do you do? Where are you from?
Cian is my name, Charlton, as you said.
Yeah.
I'm a Mayo man
Double
from
introduction.
Kelchma, big town of Mayo.
Yeah.
Capital of Mayo.
I was about to say, the capital of Mayo, surely.
Yeah.
Is it actually the capital of Mayo?
Yeah.
It's the capital
No,
of
it's
nothing.
not. Capital of nothing. Very small town.
What is the capital of Mayo?
There's no
There's
capital.
no
as
such thing as a capital.
Castlebar would be the biggest town of Ballina, maybe
That's
Westport.
the capital. So, like, where's the courthouse? It's like Ennis has the
I don't
courthouse.
know.
Ennis has the courthouse. That's the capital of Clare.
Castlebar, I think.
Okay.
But regardless, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm Mayo man. Whatever. I went to college in DCU. I think that's where we kind of crossed paths
Yeah.
originally.
I didn't go to college, GCU, but that is where we crossed paths. Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
At some stage. And yeah, I'm 24. Just got maybe 24 and a half.
Nice.
Getting old. And yeah, I started 35mm Vintage maybe 2 years, in around this time 2 years ago. Just when like the pandemic started.
I was just about to say, was it just right around COVID?
Pretty much, yeah.
Just when it started.
Just literally just as it started, yeah. So I was working doing bar shifts, kind of District 8 and like different nightclubs up in Dublin at the time.
As a DJ?
And no, actually working the bar.
Oh, really? Yeah?
DJing DJing a little bit, but that faded off maybe a couple of months prior to that.
Right, okay.
And then I was like, how am I going to make money? And I said, I'll get rid of some of my own old clothes from the wardrobe on Depop. And then it just kind of spiraled from there, and I bought a big box of random stuff from one of those websites online, like everyone kind of starts with Depop, and then it just kind of expanded from there.
And like that was the motivation behind it. Like, so the motivation was purely that
But
you
just-
wanted another outlet to increase.
Yeah, because we
Like,
didn't know how
or
long the lockdowns would be for, or how long, like we all thought it'd be a couple of months. So I was like, what am I going to do for a couple of months? Had to pay rent, had to pay bills, had to pay college fees, wanted to have money for various things. So
Yeah.
I get rid of my own clothes, and then I realised, there might be a bit of an opportunity here to start my own business, because at the time there wasn't that many smaller kind of vintage clothes sellers at the time.
Do you think that like the lockdowns and stuff potentially actually aided the growth of your company as people were sat at home? People actually were getting more money, they were saving more money, they had more disposable income. Were they actually more looking at different ways to spend their money and seeing your site popping up and growing at the time? They're sat at home all day, can't do anything, they've got a bit more disposable income, can't spend anywhere else.
Yeah,
Were they looking
fair,
at that
100%.
to start
I
at the beginning?
never really looked at it in that way, but definitely, I think so. Like, as in, we were all stuck at home. Like, that was when there was like 2K limits or like 5K limits, and guards all over the cities and stuff. You couldn't go anywhere or do anything.
Yeah.
So people had more money in their back pocket, and they probably wanted a bit of a dopamine rush or something just from buying stuff online. Like, all e-commerce stuff is growing massively anyways. Like, everyone's always on their phone. I think like 96% of our shoppers are on mobile.
Yeah,
So like
they're crazy statistics.
it's crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, I definitely think COVID. Well, I wouldn't have started it if that was never a thing. I wouldn't have started selling clothes. So
Yeah.
I could probably attribute it a small bit to it. Yeah, but it's also prevented a lot of stuff happening. Like, it's slowed down a lot of things as well. Like, I couldn't really open the shop that I have now in Kelchma with that going on. Like, loads of other people also started doing the same business, so it slowly became more saturated.
Yeah.
Lots of people were at home looking for a side hustle to do, and
Yeah.
lots of small, like exactly like myself, popped up doing like giving vintage clothes a go. Became really common.
You were lucky though, you blew up for the most part, like followers wise and stuff like that. You did pretty
to
well.
a certain extent,
Yeah.
I suppose. I was kind of one of the first in, I feel.
Yeah.
I was probably first kind of off to a start with the smaller stores, which might have helped out along a small bit, and I really dedicated myself to it. I just
And do you feel like
went all in on it.
you're a pretty talkative guy, like you get to know everyone you meet. You make an effort to talk to people you meet. So you knew a lot of people know you though. Like you're from Mayo, tiny town in Mayo, and like half of Clonmel knows you from one music festival that we went to. That's how we know each other. Like, you know what I mean? So do you think that attributed to a lot of people kind of being able to spread the word about you pretty quickly because you were like a trustworthy source almost already because people knew who you were?
I suppose.
Or do you think it didn't really make?
No, I think having like some sort of like obviously knowing people is going to benefit you if you start anything rather than just like random John blogs from down the street starting a vintage page. I think like having like friends there and like knowing people from various parts of the country from college and from other places like that definitely helped get it off the ground to a certain extent. Like I wasn't afraid. I had loads of people I could ask to share the page or like support it at first. Yeah. Which was obviously a help compared to not knowing anyone or being.
But one thing that you're actually very, very good at, I find, is that you're on top of all of your content. Like I don't think there's any times when you don't have a story up.
That's our coffee machine. Excuse that. That's not the first coffee. That is not the first time that's happened. No.
But yeah, just decided to start cleaning itself pretty much like at all random times. Like,
yeah. It
hasn't only happened once before.
We've only recorded in here once before. I'm sorry, never mind. No, sorry, we're getting sidetracked.
Anyway, yeah, so I was saying that you're very good at keeping. Like, I don't even find there's any time when you don't have a story up.
Oh yeah,
there's always something there, and it's kind of interactive stuff that's something to clickbait people on.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think finding that you're very, very good at that, and that will obviously keep your followers entertained, keep people like coming to your page like because they want to look at the more content that's there.
Yeah, I know, 100%. I think you're dead right. I wouldn't even think of that now. I've nearly always had. I used to just have loads of stories on Snapchat when I was younger, and then it just kind of carried over into the business. My personal account doesn't get much action now on Instagram at all, but 35mm Vintage's Instagram account always. So I say I put up. There's not a day goes by I don't have some sort of story up unless I'm away or like really working hard on something in the background. I'll always try and find some reason to keep people engaged. I feel like people generally like to see what's going on behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. So I'll come on and do like videos talking to camera the odd time and like have little like collecting stuff from the laundry or these items are going up now, because I feel like people, if you want to be like make an impression on someone and make a lot like be in someone's head, I want that logo 35 on the top of your Instagram all the time,
and it is on the top of mine all the time.
Literally that's the plan. Like as in, you know yourselves with your stuff as well, you want the content out there. People want to stay engaged. If they don't want to follow if they don't want to see my stories, I'd rather them unfollow the page. It's no problem. I don't want to annoy anyone with stories or like posts, which is totally understandable as well. If you have no interest in vintage clothes, I have no interest in stocks and cryptocurrency. What's the point in having them?
They're never going to buy. Like they're never going to buy off you anyway.
There's no love lost at all. I'd rather people enjoy my content and have a really low amount of followers than have 50,000 followers. People are annoyed every time
they see you. Yeah, and you touched on something there that I actually wanted to bring up, and it seems like a good point now. You're all about supporting local, and I've noticed that with you ever since you've started this. Like, so you do huge around Mayo, like around Kilshima. So you get your hats embroidered locally.
Yeah.
You get your laundry done locally, which I didn't know until you put it up the other day. You post from your local post office.
Yeah.
Your coffee you get from someone down the road. Your sweets
right next door.
Next door. Family as well, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. Family.
So like, pretty much everything you do besides actually getting the clothes, because you can't get clothes like locally. Like everything else you do, you pretty much keep it within like a 10-kilometer radius. So that's huge.
I think it's really important. Like Ireland is a small country, like probably one of the smallest. Like and there's a nice sense of community in the community in Mayo, and like I like to. It's easier to support a local business because it comes back around. Like I feel like when you support small guys, those small guys will talk about it, and it just keeps the money in the area, number one, and on a wider scale keeps it in the country.
Yeah, and the West needs it.
Yeah,
the West needs it needs the support, because when you, as a ignoramus I am, when you first opened up the shop in Mayo, I remember seeing it and I thought, what? I was like, what?
yeah, a bit mad, right?
Yeah, I was like, you opened it where?
Everyone,
Yeah.
thought the same. Like,
I was like, and it's going great for you, like, and you did a savage job. I haven't been up there, but looking at the pictures of it, it looks sick. Like, and Tim's been up there, and he told us it's savage up there. But like, I remember seeing it, and I just thought,
mental.
I was like, this guy. I knew this guy was crazy, like, but I didn't think he was that crazy.
Yeah,
but it's worked out for you.
Like. Yeah, it's definitely worked out. Like, look, it's like when you bring everything into account, like this old, like an old nightclub that was closed like 12 years, came up, was available to rent at a fairly good value. Like PJ, the guy that owns it, he owns the hotel in town as well. Like pumped loads of money into doing it up, like structurally.
Yeah.
And all I had to come in then with a blank slate. It was so fun. I just had free will to do what I want, paint whatever walls I want, put in whatever I want, wardrobe kind of railings and shop fittings, and just like had a blank slate. And it was 5 minutes from my house. And it was in town, which really needs some sort of injection. Like I wanted to bring something into Caffe Pompeii.
You have a school.
Oh, of course we have a school. Yeah,
but like,
the primary school and secondary school. Yeah,
sorry,
like in the town, it's fairly big. I think there's 700 or 800 students in it.
Oh, that's
but
huge.
like, so people come from like the neighbouring villages, like 10-15 minutes radius outside the town. But there's not much else there. So obviously a lot of it was to like, yes, it was handy for me. I'm fairly close by. Yes, my family's there, friends are there, etc. But I thought it'd just be cool and nice to bring something to Mayo, because everyone thinks, oh, I'll go to Cork, I'll go to Dublin, I'll go to Limerick, I'll go to Galway and bring my business there. Why would I open a business anywhere else?
Yeah.
But it was just something different, and I had people coming, like there was a couple of guys in from Athlone the last day into the shop, and girls came down from like Headford, just like in Galway, like 45-minute drive away.
Yeah.
Like people come from all over the west coast, because it might be far away from where they live in Connacht, but it's closer than Dublin or
Cork. Yeah. And it's pretty cool because you do the ice cream. I remember you putting up before you like school kids coming in. That's what made me think of the school for the ice cream and stuff like that. But do you find it's all younger people? You cater to mainly under 25?
Yeah, kind of. A lot of that's online. Like
yeah.
Most of the online customers, like vintage clothes, is more popular within like the youth, college kind of age. But like, in the shop, like we have kind of sweets and ice cream, as you said, downstairs, and different like gifty kind of stuff, like Chili's bottles and like cameras and like bits and bobs like that like not so young people come in and shop for.
That's cool though, yeah.
But then again, we're only open Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Yeah.
So it's not like a shop as such. It's mainly the clothes.
Yeah.
But like you'll have adults coming in shopping for kids and in with kids. Like we have the skateboards as well there, which like kids come in and get, and adults will pick up for the kids. So it's kind of a mixed bag.
Yeah,
it's
cool.
mainly college age.
Yeah.
Are you designing them skateboards yourselves?
So I got a load of skateboards in and was hand painting them like on like acrylic pouring kind of like design. So they're all like unique, but it's very, very time consuming.
Yeah.
So I kind of scrapped that when I opened the shop. I was doing them like last Christmas into January, February.
Yeah.
Scrapped that, and now I just have blank decks, and like you can just kind of, like obviously they're much cheaper to sell, less maintenance to do, but they're still like very good components, like the trucks and wheels and all that kind of stuff. It's decent. That I sell, and people can just draw on them or paint them themselves or stick little stickers on them.
Yeah.
I'll expand that again at some stage.
Talk to us about the cups. You gifted us some cups.
Oh, beautiful cups.
Yeah, beautiful cups.
Yeah, cups. So I invested in a fancy machine to make mugs and like custom kind of printed stuff, like sublimation it's called. So you can make like custom jigsaws, custom mugs. Obviously you can do the t-shirts as well.
We got the t-shirt.
Yeah, they're like it's,
it's
just I kind of saw a bit of a gap in the market for customization and stuff like that, and if people are going to pay X amount for the big companies to do it, why couldn't I do the exact same thing in house? Just kind of,
because if you're looking at like Vista print and stuff, they're expensive.
It's expensive, yeah, and it's done
really
the exact same way. The methods, like a printing a mug is printing a mug. There's only one way to do it. And I'll do it the exact same way as Vista print. A factory in China will do it. It's all the same crack.
Yeah, so that's great. Yeah, because they're sick quality. Like they're really good. Yeah, we were surprised when you brought them down today. Like,
how long does it take to make that?
A very long time.
Yeah, about 3 hours.
About 3 hours. That's not bad.
About 3 hours.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting though. It is pretty interesting.
They don't take too long. But the setup costs are kind of expensive. And once you have it all edited and like you know how to use the software and have the heat press and stuff like that, it's not too bad.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting to be honest. Like, I think that's cool. Like. I want to know about them sort of things. Like.
Yeah, no, that's fine. The
I'll teach you.
Yeah. You could
buy my course.
Yeah, come up to Kilshima. Anyway.
You need to be corrected on that. You can't say the name of that.
Kilshima.
It sounds like you're speaking some sort of Chinese village. Kelshima. Yeah, it's just the accent. It's just the accent.
Okay.
You're close enough. People will know what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay.
Probably.
So then, right, so that kind of covers 35. Like, you could talk about 35 all day.
Yeah, you could talk about it all day.
What do you find, lastly, is the most time-consuming part? Because you do a lot. So you've a shop. You've just shut up for the next few months.
Yeah.
Your Cork branch, the Marina Market, which did really well.
Yeah, it was good.
You were flying it down there.
Yeah.
That was your first time set up in a proper place.
In like a market. Yeah.
And then you've been doing colleges.
I've been doing a couple of colleges. Yeah, we did DCU and UCC.
They probably do pretty well as well at pop up.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it's nice to just be there in person with people. There's a lot more exposure. You get to meet people who's follow you online and stuff.
Yeah,
and they're like,
yeah.
oh, I'm following you online without even realising who you were or whatever.
Yeah,
it's
cool,
nice.
yeah.
Yeah, it's cool to meet people in person.
So, what do you think is the most time consuming? Because let's say for someone who's out there trying to start a business, we're just in the middle of it, and we found these stupid tasks that we didn't think would be time consuming that take ages.
Monotonous.
So what for you is your, like, if you could just give one part of the business to someone else to do, like, just something that takes up a lot of
one part of the business for someone else to do. The whole uploading and management of stock and like getting it from my shop onto the website is time consuming. Between making sure the clothes look good by steaming them or washing them first, hanging them up and putting them on the wall, taking different photographs from all the different angles, physically modelling them or getting someone else to model them. Then you have to go to the app and the software, upload it, type the description, look what size it is, double check the size, check if there's any rips or tears or things to comment on. And then actually get it uploaded when the Wi-Fi is really bad as well.
Yeah, so I never even thought of that.
Yeah. Well, it's not too bad, but like sometimes it can just be slow. But that's a monotonous, tedious job. But again, like
it's part of it. Like and you use your siblings as models.
Yeah,
a lot
of course.
Of the time, don't you? Siblings and friends
and the family.
Yeah.
Possible.
So you've everyone doing a bit. Yeah, because it's good that it's not just you. Because I was going to say different body types, but your brother's basically
he's the exact same.
The exact same. Yeah.
A centimeter taller.
Yeah. But no, it is good to have loads of your different faces and stuff on the page because you're like it does look sick when you're sliding through all the pictures and stuff like that. So that's probably enough about 35. Talk a little bit about your own. I know you invest in a little bit of cryptocurrencies. A little bit of cryptocurrencies. You watch all Market Movers videos.
Every single one of them.
Yeah, every single one of them, even
religiously.
Yeah, all the time. Doesn't miss any of them. I learned today. So talk a little bit about that. Like, how long have you been investing? Have you only started since you started your business, or were you kind of doing it a bit before then?
I think, like a lot of people, I hopped on the Tesla buzz about 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And that was my first inkling of investing. What did I use? I think I used 212 maybe. I don't know what I was trading on. I was trading on some platform. I think I got kind of half scammed by one of those Forex dudes as well.
Oh yeah,
one of my first.
We did
one of my first interactions with the stock market or Forex, whatever. But at the minute, bit of crypto here and there, but like nothing too hectic. Really.
Yeah, a lot of your money probably goes back into.
Yeah, I find there's a better ROI and actually just buying clothes instead and trying to make money that way.
Well, that's what it is at the end of the day. Like James Smith. Who's it guy on Instagram? He talks about it a lot, how he doesn't invest in anything because he just prefers to invest into his business, make the money on his business, selling his books, selling his PT course or whatever. But it is true because there is a better return on your investment.
Yeah, of course.
Short term.
It's nearly more like kind of guaranteed. As I know, if I put €500 into like crypto, into Bitcoin, who knows what can happen with that, go up or down. But if I buy €500 worth of clothes to sell, I know it's probably going to make me a profit. Yeah, because
the investments should be a small percentage of your money.
I use it as a savings fund more than anything else.
You're doing it the right way, like that's the correct way to do it. Like you shouldn't shouldn't be just throwing it all in.
Yeah, I don't think lumping on anything is ever going to work out too well unless you're very lucky. It's just gambling, really, isn't it?
At that stage, then you're just gambling.
Especially with cryptos, like it is more a lot of gambling in cryptocurrencies, like because we how to understand how everyone thinks that there's usability for all these different use cases, cryptos. It just makes absolutely no sense. There's like 9,000 different cryptos.
Yeah.
How can every single one of them be worth something and do something and have a function
100%.
when they all do the same thing?
You're jumping on the train, like, yeah.
It's different with stocks. Like you're buying a company, but then you have to learn about the company. You have to look at all of their ratios, their statements. You have to do a lot more research into what it is. When you're looking at cryptocurrency, you can understand the functions of it, but you don't actually know like what it really is because it has no real life usability.
100%.
It's
a funny one. I don't know as much. I'm not into it as much as you guys are. Like I was learning loads from watching your videos and stuff like that, and I follow you on Instagram, but. So it's such a massive space.
It's a huge space. Yeah,
like,
it's insane.
Huge.
Yeah.
I just stick to the kind of basics of like Ethereum, Bitcoin, XRP, whatever.
Yeah.
Nothing too hectic
XRP,
now.
thank God. Someone else is also gambling on that one.
yeah, because we're the same. Like you see it in the videos. We don't talk about any other coins besides the top like 5.
The top couple.
Top 10. Like because we were big Shiba Inu investors as well at one point, and it went pretty well.
I feel like I had like 25 billion Shibas. Yeah. Like €50.
Yeah. And then something else I wanted to talk a little bit because I just found it interesting when you said to me before it was about your kind of rare clothing pieces you've picked up.
Yeah.
So like the one I think was it one of the NASCAR ones we were talking about?
Yeah,
was
a couple of NASCAR jackets. Yeah, so sometimes I get lucky and actually come across like rare-ish pieces with a bit of history behind them.
Yeah.
From like 90s NASCAR jackets or whatever kind of stuff like that like could fetch like $1,000 on eBay if you found the right person to buy it. So obviously if you know about that kind of stuff and are interested in NASCAR or like even like vintage football jerseys, like there's massive money to be made in them with like signed shirts or like signed NASCAR jackets or even like just rare pieces that the right person will pay top dollar for, but someone will. It'll be one man's trash is another man's treasure. Perfect example of it. I like to kind of keep a couple of things myself. Bit of an archive going on in the bedroom.
That's cool,
like stuff like that.
And you finding them like, let's say if you buy, because you handpick most of yours, all
of it,
everything like.
Everything, yeah.
That has to be time consuming too. I think did you have about 4 or 5 hours you did the other day handpicking?
Yeah, usually 4 or 5 hours. Yeah, definitely.
That's huge. Yeah.
But you're always keeping an eye on like different selling sites like eBay, and keep an eye on Etsy, keep an eye on even Depop, like all around the world for like just things like, oh, you spot that, that's cheaper than I could probably sell it for, etc. Or something that's more desirable in our country, it wouldn't be as desirable in say Italy or France. Ski suits are a perfect example. People get rid of them cheap over in those countries, but like they can be turned into much higher profit here.
You went hard on the ski suits.
I went all in the ski suits.
All in. And I remember seeing that and I was like, how many ski suits is this guy going to pull out?
Yeah,
I thought it was mad when I was ski suits
going. We went through a crazy amount of ski suits. I think I got my hands on maybe. So I had started the ski suit collection. I love skiing and snow sports, so I went all in on it last like a full 12-13 months ago.
Yeah.
Collecting them like 2 summers ago for last year's ski trips, which never went ahead because they're all stuck here.
Of course.
And then had them all left over, and I was like, look, I'm either going to go all in these ski suits or flog these off. So I decided I'm going to go all in on them, try and make myself the number one place to get ski suits and snow gear.
Well, I wouldn't have a clue where I don't go skiing, but I wouldn't know where to buy one.
They're hard to find. If you type in vintage ski suit, you get them up on ASOS Marketplace for like 150, 200 quid. Like big money.
What were your ones selling for?
Like a few of like some of the higher end branded ones, with like really savage design and stuff that I might have paid fairly top dollar for. Thing could have sold for maybe 70, 80 euros. Like I might have got picked them up for like 100 and sell them on for a little bit more than that, 150 maybe. But then after VAT and tax, that's back down again.
It's nothing,
But it's just volume. So I was buying bulk kind of packages from places as well and sourcing them for a while, and no, they went well.
They looked sick. I seen all the pictures of after you went away. Like it looked savage.
Yeah, it was class to have all the customer photos coming in when they were on the ski trips with them. I just love nothing better than getting them pictures. It's class.
They're sick. Yeah, because even Adrian, who bought one off you last week, he's going skiing. I think in February, and he just sent me a picture in his one. Like, and I was like the man just wears black tracksuits all day, every day. Next minute he's wearing a purple and pink and green ski suit, and he thinks he's gas looking like.
Yeah.
But it does look sick, like it, because.
No, they add a bit of personality to the slopes. So better than seeing like a gang of lads or girls when you're on a ski trip yourself, all wearing like hilarious suits and stuff. Crushing into the snow together.
Yeah, because you may as well be dressed mad if you're wearing something
Yeah,
as
it's
stupid
only a
looking as a
week.
ski suit anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You may as well be a
100%.
cool ski suit rather
Yeah,
than
may
a
as
black
well be
one.
a bit of colour and a bit
Yeah.
of pop.
But they did well for yourself, the ski suits.
Yeah, very well. Yeah,
Yeah.
It was fun. They were so fun to model as well, and just like take pictures of. It just adds a bit of colour and it's good content.
Yeah. Well,
Especially
that's something that I like about your posts all the time because your clothes are obviously colourful.
Mm.
So you
It's
always
nice
have
to
a
look
load
at.
of colour in your content. Is always
Yeah.
really bright and like
I
pops
think
out.
it's
Like,
important. It's nice
It's
to look
cool,
at.
yeah.
No one wants
Oh,
to look
very
at
nice.
grey and black jumpers all day.
yeah.
But there's loads of content there with clothes. Like when you're getting new things in all the time, you can continuously have content like constantly coming
Yeah,
out with all the
100%.
new stuff.
Yeah.
I have questions. Would you ever think about looking at like this craze of like alternative collectibles like Pokemon cards or them sort of things like?
Yeah, yeah.
Because
yeah.
it kind of seems like it'd be a place where you could possibly look at some like alternative kind of assets you could possibly looking at selling.
Yeah, 100%.
Some sort of different sort of collectibles that people would potentially want. Like
I have about 7 shoe boxes of Yu-Gi-Oh cards at home. Someday.
Yeah,
It'll be
yeah.
worth
I
it.
have a load of them as well.
Oh, it's so like stupid amount. I think what the booster packs like €4 or €5, like 12 cards back in the day. I don't know how many parents.
My mother threw out all my Pokemon cards.
Yeah, no, of course, Susan.
I had so many.
I only got
So
Pokemon
many.
cards recently. I just got a notion to buy some sort of tube of Pokemon cards.
Did you buy them online or just like
I
in the?
bought them on some sort of trading card. I think I got some rare ones. I actually
Really,
just, like, half invested in them. Yeah, I think I dropped a couple of hundred of them.
Fuck.
There's some nice ones in it.
Yeah.
I don't know much about them, but
See,
I just
it's
I
the
just
same
got
thing.
the
Sure,
urge
You
to buy.
should text Sean Sweetman. He knows loads about him.
I'll get onto it.
Yeah, he'll be able to tell you. He has his little collections. Like he's collecting up his stuff, like
Cool.
putting
But
them in
it's the
laminate
same
and
thing,
stuff.
like as you're kind of saying with like the rare jackets, like whatever
Yeah.
you could find in that pack, like could be worth so much money to
If
someone
you can
else.
get, I think like those first edition packs is
Yeah,
where the
yeah,
money's
it's
at.
crazy.
Like, they're just like impossible to get.
Did you see Logan Paul's scam? He got
His
scammed.
Yeah,
He got scammed out of like $3.2 million. He
yeah.
bought fake Pokemon cards for $3.2 million.
They were GI Joe cards
It's reckless.
inside the packet, which I don't even know if it was GI Joe. cards.
3.2 million,
Yeah, he spent on the cards.
like unopened.
Yeah.
first edition
Unopened
box.
first edition box. Yeah, boxes plural.
Like dead stock boxes hidden in
Yeah.
someone's warehouse.
Yeah,
Wow,
he got scammed out.
he
of it.
deserves it.
No,
I like that guy.
I like him too. I'm big
He's
into
kinda
him.
funny.
Yeah, he's funny. Yeah,
Have you ever looked at NFTs?
it seems like something you should be doing.
yeah.
Just match your
Yeah.
quirky.
So you could actually think about creating a 35mm NFT brand of things like, and you could literally hand them out to people
I'm not
with
gonna lie, I
purchases and
know
stuff.
very, very little about them. I know that it's a non-fungible token. It's like basically a digital collectible that's on the blockchain, and you have one, and that's the only one you have, etc.
Yeah.
But I
Not
don't
much
know
else to
how
know.
I would design them or make them or get them organised. Maybe in the future, though. Maybe you could enlighten me as to what the NFT world.
I made an NFT
Yeah, Sam
Did
made
ya?
one. Yeah.
of our logo,
That's cool.
but like
I definitely.
I just did it
get-
to see could it do it, like, and it isn't that difficult to do.
Yeah,
But then, like, it's just another thing you could add to a spectrum. It would appeal to different people that are involved
Make
in
the millions.
cryptocurrency. Yeah, there's.
yeah, sounds good.
That could be it.
Definitely.
You have to pay us a
This is-
percentage if it
We'll
works.
talk about it after the show.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything else we really need to touch on. Like, is there anything else you want to ask?
No, I think that's pretty good. Like, we're coming up on half an hour. Like, we don't want to keep it much longer than that, really.
Anything else you want to say? Talk about?
No, I'm happy
No,
out.
you're
I
happy
just
with that?
wish you the best of luck with this business.
Oh,
like
thanks
Caffe
very much.
Pompeii,
And thank you
I'm
for the
sure
cups
you'll
and the
kill it.
t-shirts. We appreciate it.
It's lovely coffee.
Yeah, thanks
Yeah.
a lot, Keane.
No
So,
bother.
So, guys, that brings us to the end of the third episode of Who Is That Entrepreneur. So remember, guys, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. It really helps out an awful lot. And we just want to say thank you to Keane for joining us today. And make sure you do check out 35mm Vintage. It is linked down below in the description. And we'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, lads.
stuff.